the green grass. Let's capture it for you in the most unforgettable manner. Just football on Splash 105.5 FM. The goals.
Oh my God, an insane goal!
The near goals.
Oh, what a miss!
Shots on and off targets. The drama. The controversies. The reactions. Miss anything? With us, you have everything. Every Wednesday, join the winning team. Kickoff time is 4 p.m. We'll keep you glued to your radio set for 1 hour, one whole hour, discussing the round letter game of soccer. Wednesdays, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Just football. The sound of the whistle. Let the action begin.
Still rocking the IMC. The Phoenix.
Okay, your favorite radio gang is back again for Just Football on this integrity dial, Splash 105.5 FM, the 9th day in the month of June 2021. Of course, all about international games this time around. There are no club footballs to report about, club football games rather, to report about. But hey, we are not left stranded without some football games to, whet our appetites. And of course, all about the countdown to Euro 2020. What's going on there? Teams are playing a couple of friendly games, national friendlies, tune-up games you want to say to get themselves up to date. And then the big question is, which of these teams is likely to win the Euro 2020? Well, I've seen many talks about the English national team, how, talks about Gareth Southgate has, rebuilt the English national team. But hey, whatever rebuilding is doing, it has to come with a trophy before maybe some of us can actually agree with that. But hey, we'll talk about that today. Also talk about the Copa America. What's the plan towards that, and what's going on as regards that. Some stories in terms of transfer word coming in, who is going out, who is coming into the club, who is hoping to buy what. All of that we'll have for you today. And of course, something from the Nigerian scene as well. The Super Eagles of Nigeria played Cameroon international friendly yesterday and ended goalless. Over two legs, or two fixtures. Let me say two legs. Over two fixtures at the same venue. It was Cameroonians who, would go back home with the upper hand in that one. So, welcome to Just Football on Splash FM. My name is Blessing Fowowe. I'm not here alone. Ayoba Menimashawon is also here with me this afternoon. AY, how you doing?
Good afternoon to you, Blessing. Good afternoon to the listeners out there. A wet Wednesday afternoon in the city of Ibadan. You really have that happen, but if you had actually been reading the writing on the wall since Friday, it has always been raining. Maybe not every day, but then to a large extent, perhaps we saw this coming and we came prepared for it. To just actually make sure we report to duty and do justice to all the football stories making rounds, like you rightly said. Not just in terms of national teams, but ultimately in terms of club football as well. Because right now I've got live actions right in the NPFL, match the 26th, and indeed some teams who are increasingly looking condemned for relegation could perhaps try to sneak their way out of it, and those that are still vying for the league title as well are all in action this afternoon. And also talk about the fact that the transfer window has officially opened today right in England. So a couple of transfer gist, and this summer, if you agree with me, Blessing, has always been largely dominated, let me put it that way, by the managerial merry-go-round.
Yes, indeed.
Ranging from Italy right there to Germany, even in England, and we are glad to actually bring to you the appointment of two managers in Europe this lovely Wednesday afternoon.
And speaking of being prepared or coming prepared to the show, well, if you are viewing us via our Facebook platform, search for Splash FM 105.5 Ibadan, then you probably have an idea of what it meant when he talked about coming prepared. Both of us are somehow in jackets. Of course, it is cold here, just because it rained, before we came into the studio. But of course, we have all of those, all of the sporting stories here for you. Where do we start from here? Well, let's start from the Nigerian scene. Yeah, it's all about this. While the Super Eagles are playing friendly games, the Super Falcons as well are getting ready for their own U.S. Summer Series. They landed in Houston yesterday, Houston, United States of America yesterday. It's ready to take on, all of those fixtures that they have lined up for them against Jamaica, against United States of America, all of those. But what is catching our attention here this afternoon is the fact that there's a young female footballer who says she would grab the opportunity to play for Nigeria with both hands. Her name is Ashley Plumpton. She is former England youth defender, and she said if she has the opportunity to play for Nigeria at the senior level, definitely she's going to grab that opportunity with both hands. She's 23 years old, and she played for newly promoted Women's Super League side Leicester City, and of course she's available to play for the Super Falcons because of her father's Nigerian heritage. Man, if you see her picture, and then the first question you ask yourself is how exactly is she related to Nigeria? But yes, it's about her father's Nigerian heritage, and she helped the Foxes to the FA Women's Championship title in 2020-2021. That's just concluded season, and Plumpton was voted the player of the season and rewarded with a new 2-year deal contract there. But despite having 30 England caps at youth level, Plumpton said she would like to play for Nigeria. And here's where I'm looking at this AY. I'm looking at the defender. She's a defender. I'm looking at the defense that we have for Nigerian team, not just the defense, a different department of the team. You can agree with me that we probably have aging legs in the team of the Super Falcons.
Well,
and then
I don't know. Some people, especially in Nigerian football fraternity, may not want to. They
won't agree with that, yeah. Exactly. But we can't run away from the truth forever.
Obviously, we can't. I mean, the fact that some of our defenders are already aging, we saw a bit part of that during the Talking Invitational tournament just a couple of weeks ago. Even though we eventually won the tournament, but there was a bit of a question marks about whether these lads can still be able to, play at the top level. But indeed, we've got another one upon us now that we're up against Jamaica, Portugal, and women's team of United States of America in this
US Summer Series.
US Summer Series. So I think that defense will obviously be exposed. But regardless of that, this is one shining light that is pretty much leading the whole Leicester City women's team right there to glory, having just gained promotion to elite division. So, and she's actually at the age of 23. I expect that to be
Still
actually
really
playing
young.
against the best of players right in the women. I mean the FA, WSL right there in England. So I think that would obviously help her. And for someone that is also already committing her future now to Nigeria, verbally though, showing a bit of interest. I mean, if you combine our ability and possibly our heart, when it's obviously lying now with the Super Falcons, it's really looking quite interesting. And I hope that Thomas Dennerby as well as the NFF can actually look towards and possibly just give her a bit of test, maybe in friendly games, invitational tournament. Let's see what she's got, and hopefully we might have been able to just seal for ourselves a rare gem for the future.
Well, just a little correction. It is Randy Wardrum now, not Thomas Dennerby. It is Randy Wardrum. But speaking of, having someone for the future, I'm wondering as well, is it a case of not being able to make it to the English women's national team, and then, okay, what's the second option? Maybe Nigeria could be there for me.
Well, you can never shy away from that fact, but the reality is that at least she has actually represented the English team in youth internationals, youth tournament. And she's currently doing so well for herself. I think she was even voted the player of the
players of
the championship women's football right in England.
Even for Leicester City.
Exactly, you can say for it by that large extent that indeed
perhaps there's the
she's
potential.
a rising star.
Yeah.
And for her to have been able to verbally now commit herself to Nigeria, trying to shy away from the possibility of still being able to be called up to the women's national team for England, I think it's actually a statement of intent on her part. She's already trying to tell us that, listen, I would rather play for Nigeria.
If you come for me.
Exactly. So, which is quite laudable, and hopefully she can actually, get our wish granted right there by the Nigerian Football Federation. But away from that as well, we've got games right now going live right in the Nigerian Professional Football League. About 9 games currently live right now, and unfortunately no goal has been scored. But quickly running through the fixtures, Enyimba are up against Adamawa United, 30 minutes gone in that fixture. FC Enyimba hosting Kwara United, Wiki Tourist away at Jigawa Golden Stars, Lobby Stars hosting Enugu Rangers, MFM in Lagos currently hosting Abia Warriors. Remember, MFM are still unbeaten since the start of the football in the second half of the season, which is actually about 6 games unbeaten now. Aqua United 15 games unbeaten, and they are also currently in action. I think they would rather be in action tomorrow rather. Banasa United are currently hosting the Warri Wolves. Katsina United we are Plateau United. Rivers United hosting Canopilas. That's perhaps the fixture of the run for me. And Sunshine Stars still looking forward to end their ongoing winless run. Did I nearly say unbeaten? Winless run of 18 games. They could eventually perhaps end that should they get a win against Aqua Starlets, which is Dakada FC, as we speak right now in Akure. So those are the fixtures currently live in the NPFL.
And speaking of this Sunshine Stars, there's this news about the players getting 1 month out of the outstanding several months of outstanding bonus, 8 months of outstanding bonuses and salary arrears that they have. That's really, really sad. But we hope that they can turn whatever it is that's going on with them around so that they can, avoid relegation, because we'd like to have more southwestern teams in the NPFL. Let's move away from the Nigerian scene, moving straight to Copa America 20 2021, where Brazil players have strongly criticized the organizers. They've criticized the decision to hold the Copa America in their country, and they're saying, remember the tournament was first moved from Argentina. That
was supposed to be actually co-hosted by
Argentina
and Argentina.
Yeah. And then they had to be dropped due to civil unrest. Exactly. Brazil decided to step in, but they're also in the thick of COVID-19 issues here and there. But the players are not happy about that, but they're saying, okay, regardless, we're not going to boycott. But
obviously, it is understandable. They were actually just trying to stake a claim for themselves. They were not consulted before Brazil president actually decided to.
But should the players have been consulted? I'm wondering. It's all about the federation.
But it's all about the football as well. These players also, they are major stakeholders. You can't possibly host a tournament without the players. And in this case, I think just a bit of roundtable talk, just maybe to actually notify them. I think that should be the right thing.
It is Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Paraguay, and Uruguay. We're going to a very quick commercial break right now. When we return from this break, it will be all about Euro 2020, where France coach Didier Deschamps says he's confident that Karim Benzema will be fit for the opener against Germany.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o, Panadol Extra náà ni Panadol Extra. Ó tún ti ń bẹ báyìí nínú ìdí kékeré oníkápẹ́lẹ̀tì mẹ́rin láàdọ́ta náírà péré. Panadol Extra kẹ́nẹ́ ni Panadol Extra mú tura bẹ́ fọ́rí, ìrora ẹ̀yìn, ìrora oríkèé, ìrora nǹkan oṣù àti ìrora ẹ̀yìn. Tí ìbá ṣe Panadol, kò lè jẹ́ bí Panadol. Tá ìpadà ò bá sí lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ méjì, lọ rí dókítà. Panadol Extra ní paracetamol àti caffeine nínú, kò sí fáláboyún àtàwọn ọmọdé tọ́jú orí wọn kéré sọ́dún 12.
You know that feeling when you keep downloading and streaming interesting videos, but your mind keeps whispering, continue, your pockets go here. But not anymore. When you subscribe to MTN's affordable and reliable monthly data bundles, you will enjoy 10 gigabytes with just 3,000 naira and 20 gigabytes for 5,000 naira only. Plus, a whopping 4 gigabytes free to stream YouTube videos on your reliable data network. Simply dial *131# to select and turn up your affordable data plan on MTN. Terms and conditions apply.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
It's Jumia's 9th anniversary from the 11th to the 27th of June. Code word Versary. Yes, everything anniversary.
Say what?
Phoneversary. Get phones at unbeatable prices.
Okay, let me try. Homeversary?
Yup, you get up to 30% off on home appliances, plus daily flash sales and amazing giveaways, including free delivery for 1 year.
With Junior 9th anniversary sale, celebrate your everyday from the 11th to the 27th of June 2021.
Jumia, your everyday delivered.
Ìfẹ́ mi, níbo lobìnrin yìí wà?
Ọkọ mi, kí nìyẹn?
Àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ yìí tí ẹnìkan fi ránṣẹ́ sí mi lórí WhatsApp. Ó ń já mi láyà o.
Kí ni nǹkan tó ń já yín láyà? Ǹjẹ́ ẹ ti kàn sí Africa Check lórí WhatsApp láti ṣàrídájú pé ìròyìn yìí ṣe fọkàn tán? Tí èyíkéyìí fídíò, fọ́tò, ìfọ̀ránṣẹ́ tàbí àtẹ̀ránṣẹ́ kan bá mú ìfúnra lọ́wọ́ tó ń jáni láyà tàbí mọ́kàn pòrúurú, Africa Check yóò bá yín ṣàyẹ̀wò rẹ̀. Ọlọ́gbọ́n yẹn o. Ǹjẹ́ o ní ìròyìn tí o kò lè ṣe ìwádìí rẹ̀? Fi ránṣẹ́ sí wa lórí WhatsApp ní 09083777789. Africa Check yóò ràn ọ́ lọ́wọ́ láti ya òótọ́ sọ́tọ̀ kúrò nínú àròsọ.
Sense of fresh. I feel the freshness. I got the confidence. With the liquid fuel chewing gum, not scent of fresh. I'm feeling good. I feel so good. Yes, I feel so fresh. I feel so fresh. I got confidence. Scent of fresh. The correct chewing gum, not scent of fresh. No darling with scent of fresh.
Scent of fresh chewing gum. Trust the freshness.
Malaria won't show power for your side. It gon' knock you down. I'm a temp salt gel. Me I can tell you no say. Malaria my lesson when no get bad taste or bitter taste for mouth. And it easy to swallow. Try. I got red game changer. I'm a temp salt gel.
I'm a temp salt gel. Now to treat malaria. If body not well after 3 days, see a doctor.
Yes, we're back, and it is still Just Football on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. Euro 2020 on our minds now. Okay, it is all about the race against time to be fit for Karim Benzema, and Didier Deschamps is so confident that he will be available for the first game against Germany next Tuesday. France were hit with injury scare when Benzema limped off in the first half of their warm-up game against Bulgaria, and Benzema himself signaled to the bench to be taken off, but Deschamps says he isn't worried about the fitness, the striker's fitness. But my mind is on the possible replacement, even if he gets injured. Olivier Giroud, this man who has been so much maligned, by everyone at club level while he was at Arsenal, and is just a couple of goals away from matching Thierry Henry's record for France. Absolutely amazing.
Yes, absolutely. And the fact that he's actually been called up means that it's still pretty much in the plans of the head coach Didier Deschamps, and with what is currently going on, I don't really think Benzema will be out for too long. Neither is he likely to miss any games, but we all know what Giroud can offer off the bench. So I think indeed he's always going to offer a bit of very good, reliable options right there for France the tournament. And away from the camp of the Le Bleu to the camp of the La Furia, talking about Spain, who have actually been hit by COVID-19. Remember, the captain, there's Sergio Busquets, has tested positive, but it seems it's not ending there, as we are hearing that things have not worsened rather for Spain ahead of the start of the Euros, after Diego Llorente has also tested positive. Spain's training base went into isolation on Sunday, and it seems that is not going to end anytime soon, as Llorente becomes the second Spanish player to test positive for COVID-19 ahead of the start of the Euros on Friday. Spain's first game is up against Sweden later on Monday, so we're to find out whether this would rather just throw spanners into the preparation of the team or not.
But it's not looking good for them at this point, because certainly this will maybe affect them ahead of their first game on Monday. But whatever happens, we hope that they can come out of that real quick. Away from Euro 2020 national team football stories, back to club football, and it's about who is buying what, who wants to move where. But first off, with Arsenal, where a Spotify owner, Daniel Ike, says is looking to increase his bid to buy Arsenal to £2 billion. But of course, Stan Kroenke, that's the club owner, is rejecting. The first offer was for £1.8 billion. He says it's not selling. His son, Josh, also had to release a statement back in April saying that they are 100% committed to Arsenal and they are not selling. But then the question is, at what point will they be forced to shift their opinion there? Maybe when the money becomes so irresistible, you could say. But at the moment, they say with £2 billion, they are not looking to sell.
I'd really be surprised if they actually sell Arsenal for £2 billion for two basic reasons. Firstly, the heat is not really that much from the fans anymore. Good news is that they are currently in the summer, so they are not feeling the heat that much. And secondly, the fact that Daniel Ek actually increased from 1.8 to 2 billion within just 2 months says a whole lot about the fact that there's a possibility that he can further increase that maybe later in the course of the future. So they could just decide to hold on for a bit longer, if at all they would eventually, flinch and sell the Gunners to Daniel Ek. Away from that, and let's talk about Wolverhampton Wanderers. Remember, they are currently without a manager, at least before the start of today, but I'm glad to tell you that indeed they have appointed a replacement for Nuno Espirito Santo, who left the club at the end of last season. His name is Bruno Lage, who was formerly with Benfica. Lage was previously assistant to Carlos Carvajal at Sheffield Wednesday and Swansea before joining Benfica, where he won the Portuguese title back in 2019. The 45-year-old will now succeed his fellow Portuguese coach, Nuno Espirito Santo, having left the club back at the end of last season. He is actually the new manager right there at Wolverhampton Wanderers. And guess what? Lage never played football professionally. In fact, he began his coaching career at the Victoria Setúbal Academy just at the age of 21 back in 1997.
As a manager, that is absolutely huge. Bruno Lage, the new coach of Wolverhampton Wanderers. There is more on that story here on the BBC Premier League Update.
BBC Premier League Update from the home of Premier League football.
Hello, I'm Adi Adedoyin at the BBC Sports Centre. The Manchester City midfielder Phil Foden has thanked the England manager Gareth Southgate for giving him another chance with the national side. Foden's first call-up to the senior squad last September ended with him and Mason Greenwood being sent home early from Iceland as punishment for a breach of disciplinary standards.
Obviously I made a massive mistake, I was young, but Gareth said if I keep just doing well and keep performing, I should get another opportunity. So yeah, I had to work really hard for that, and yeah, there's not many managers that would give you another opportunity, so you have to thank Gareth a lot for giving me another chance.
Well, England's first match at the Euros will be on Sunday against Croatia. The Manchester United defender Luke Shaw is going into the tournament in good shape after enjoying the best form of his career. Shaw says that Southgate has told him to play his natural game when called upon during the tournament.
You know, I think Gareth's always been one to say to me to always believe in myself. You know, even when I'm, playing here, he just says he wants me to bring what I'm doing at United to England, and that's all he wants. He's obviously said that he's been happy with my performances, and I think there's obviously a reason why I'm here. So, I just need to bring my United form to England, and like I said, no matter whether I play or not play, I'll give everything for the team here.
And Wolves have appointed Bruno Lage as their new head coach. He's been out of work since leaving Benfica 11 months ago and replaces Nuno Espirito Santo, who left the club at the end of the season after 4 years in charge. For more football news from the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Okay, we're reaching home stretch on Just Football this cold Wednesday afternoon, and still on talking about transfers, who is moving where, but all about the manager merry-go-round. It's about Lazio, who have confirmed that Mauricio Sarri will be the new manager replacing Simone Inzaghi, who left for Inter Milan. The Serie A side confirmed Sarri's appointment with a hilarious cigarette tweet, which played on the ex-Chelsea boss' chain-smoking habits. Lazio said, we're said to be in talks with the 60-year-old Italian last week, and the Tweety all but confirmed that he will take over the reins there for Lazio. So Mauricio Sarri is the new coach. The ex-Napoli manager is the new coach of Lazio there.
Well, that's quite interesting. I mean, for someone who has previously worked with Juventus, with Napoli, and we have seen how, especially with Napoli, how he was able to transform the team from perhaps a mid-table club to usual league title contenders. I mean, I think it was in his last season with Napoli that they nearly won the league title back then, but now he's actually inheriting somewhat nosediving Lazio side that needs a bit of revigoration, especially from the sideline. Remember, Filippo Inzaghi has departed the club, so I think it's actually a very, very interesting project right there for Mauricio Sarri. They might not have the huge amount of money to spend around like he actually enjoyed at Chelsea and at Juventus, but we know that even when given a very, very small transfer budget, it's quite shrewd and could eventually make the best of it. And need I even state that he's got some decent players in that squad, Milinkovic-Savic, there's Ciro Immobile up front as well. So, I mean, these lads have always turned out to be the spine of Lazio so far in recent years. And I think they still got maybe a few more years to offer. So I think, indeed, Sarri's dramatic and emotional figure from the sideline could just really spoil the team to something remarkable this season, especially when you realize that Lazio are seemingly just dropping away from record in race for the league title or even qualifying for the Champions League.
I mean, for them, perhaps to be about the Champions League first for a start, and then maybe taking a step further.
You mean to win the Champions League?
I mean, no, to make it to the Champions League stage.
When is the Champions League?
Hey, nothing is impossible, bro. So anything can happen.
Come on,
anything can happen in football.
Have you been playing Football Manager lately?
The story of the underdog. Anything can happen.
Have you been playing Football Manager lately?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Because I was going to tie it to that, because really, Lazio for Champions League title, that is not happening anytime soon.
Okay. Well, we have to leave on the show today, but of course, we'll also be still continue talking about the transfer market now that it is officially opened. And I'm really interested to see how much the clubs will be spending after all the loss they made due to COVID-19 last year. Chelsea are in the news about Achraf Hakimi, but of course, we get more on that tomorrow on Sports Bank. Thanks for being a part of Just Football today. My name is Blessing Fowowe.
My name is Ayobami Animashaon.
Have a great Wednesday. Au revoir.